Hi, my name is Richard Fortman, and this will be my presentation on the Baltimore 2019 ransomware attack. So in 2019, Baltimore went through a ransomware attack. It was called the Robinhood virus. They refused to pay. It ended up costing them about $18 million. But in doing so, they were able to recognize and identify some of the weaknesses in their IT infrastructure. So they don't go through this again. These are the things that I would advise them to do. First, I would advise them to go ahead and adopt the NIST, or National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Framework, which focuses on 6 key areas: identify, protect, detect, respond, recover, and govern. We'll first take a look at identify. The city needs to assess the entire digital landscape, from software systems to employee practices. They could also hire a white hat hacker or organization that does something similar, but cities usually operate on limited budgets. Protect. They need to implement robust security measures, like some of these that are highlighted here. So secure backups, encryptions, tokens, and multi-factor authentication. Next, we take a look at detect. So real-time monitoring of their systems is essential, and continuous auditing for abnormalities and to detect and prevent or minimize an attack. Respond. The city must develop a formal incident response plan. I work at the City of Coeur d'Alene, and we're actually developing one right now along with other preventative measures because we went through a ransomware attack ourselves about 6 months ago. And recover. Have multiple data backup points, secure backups, and ensure they could recover systems without resorting to paying ransoms, or at least try to minimize the need to pay out a ransom by having systems in place. And finally, govern, establishing policies and procedures to clarify rules and risk management. All right, we'll take a look at the next slide here. So how ransomware on cities differs from attacks on private organizations. We'll go ahead and take a look at that side currently. When we look at how cities respond or municipalities respond to ransomware attacks, it does differ from public entities. One of the ways is cities manage public services like transportation, utility, and emergency services, and any disruption impacts citizens directly, whereas private companies, while financially impacted, can isolate systems with less public fallout. Budget constraints. One of the huge things that cities have is budget constraints. That's something that I deal with on a daily basis. Very frustrating, but it is something that cities have to do. It's their fiduciary responsibility. Cities often operate on tight budgets, which limits their cybersecurity investments compared to private corporations that can allocate more resources. All right, finally, how business leaders should respond differently than cities. So business leaders tend to prioritize immediate recovery to protect revenue and shareholders, which often leads to quicker decisions on whether to pay the ransom. They may also have more access to cybersecurity insurance and the ability to restore services faster through third-party vendors. In contrast, city leaders must balance public safety, legal constraints, and long-term trust from the community. All right, and finally, we take a look at the role of AI in security and ransomware environments. So AI is a rapidly developing area, and it has multiple, it reaches out and touches multiple areas of business, every area of business, honestly. The rapid adoption of artificial intelligence can greatly improve how leaders address cybersecurity. AI systems can continuously monitor for abnormalities and isolate those abnormalities and automate the response to contain ransomware attacks. However, AI itself can become a target of attacks, so it's important to have encryption and secure AI with robust layers of security. In the current environment, AI helps bridge the gap between human capacity and evolving threats. So the way that I see AI, I see it augmenting the individuals in the cybersecurity realm, but I don't see it replacing too many individuals, just because they'll still need to always be that backup secondary system of a human that could take a look at things if things take a drastic crash power outage. I mean, all kinds of things could happen. So that was my presentation. Thank you. I look forward to looking at your presentations and responding.